Hey, DJ.
What's going on, Wes?
Did you know that Wylie's iconic Connection magazine was published bi-monthly for nearly 2 decades?
No, 2 decades is a long time.
That's twice a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, now you know.
Now I do know.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the Live, Love, Wylie podcast, hosted by Wes Dorsey and DJ Shirley. Connecting people in the city we live and love. Well, Wylie, it's that time of year again. This is our annual Wylie Rodeo episode. This is, I believe, our 4th podcast in the last, well, count them. This is the 4th one. Talking about the Wylie Rodeo. Today we have got Miss Tina Stelnicki with the Wylie Area Chamber of Commerce with us today. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. It's nice to be here with you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You've been on the podcast before.
Yes, sir.
But since the last time you were on, I've heard that you've got a new role with the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, since has it been 2 years? Officially, I'm now the CEO of the Wylie Area Chamber of Commerce. We also went through a rebranding, and that's been a year. And so now, as you mentioned, we are the Wylie Area Chamber of Commerce. A funny thing is that when the chamber was started, nearly 50 years ago, it was originally the Wylie Area Chamber of Commerce.
Was it really?
And somewhere along the way, I haven't quite figured out when it changed to the Wylie Chamber of Commerce. We've got some historians that were doing some work for the 50th anniversary, but anyways.
Somewhere along the way, it got dropped off.
Somewhere along the way, it got dropped off. We feel like it's more encompassing of the area, and of course, any business is welcome to join the Wylie Area Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, and that's a great point. For people out here listening right now, kind of explain how the chamber benefits the community.
Sure. The biggest thing that I feel like we do as a chamber for our members, certainly, but then also if you're thinking about being a member, you're always welcome to our networking events. We have a standing event Wednesday morning. We call it Business Connect. You might remember it being called a business card exchange, but
it's changed names a couple times.
Yeah, we feel like Business Connect now. I think in our daily lives, if we have the opportunity to network with people, you're doing a lot more than just passing a card.
Right.
You are sitting down usually with a cup of coffee or having a conversation, and networking has kind of, I think over the years, has kind of gone to a different level, and people want to know more about you than just the name of your business.
Exactly.
They want to know how you do business and such. So, but that's the biggest thing that we do is we provide those opportunities for networking. You know that there's always going to be a fairly large group of people. Our Business Connect on Wednesday mornings now. We're up to nearly almost every week. We're in the 60s.
Wow.
60 people attending. So we're pretty proud of that. And then we always have we call it a nugget. We have some education during that hour. We stuff a lot into that hour because we also give chamber updates, what events are coming up and things like that. So
that's right. You got to remember this, Wylie business people. Your network is your net worth, right? So Get out there and network with other business owners for sure, and hit up the Business Connect.
That's right.
Right. And so that's every Wednesday morning.
Yes.
At what time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah, 8 a.m. is early enough.
Yeah.
No, not 7.
You saw that.
Oh, yeah. I knew where you were headed. I was like, oh, no.
And people can find information about that on the Chamber's website?
Yes. Yep. Just wyliechamber.org. There's a pretty little button right on the front that says events calendar. And so you can go right there and that'll show you certainly every Wednesday morning location. We're always at Smith Public Library. And again, 8 a.m. every Wednesday. But then while you're there, you can check out other things that are going on. Once a month, we have an evening mixer. And this year, we've coordinated with the Saxe Chamber and the Murphy Chamber. And so we call it our 5:01 p.m., p.m. being professional mixer. But really, it's just a great opportunity to get together with people. After 5, we meet at different restaurants throughout Saxe, Wylie, and Murphy. And it's just a different environment. I think of Business Connect as being a little more program oriented. You know, you speak when it's your turn. The evening mixers are certainly, again, a different level of networking and getting to know people.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I've been to quite a few of those. I enjoy them. So I'm gonna let you put on your sales hat right quick. For those business owners that are not a member of the Wylie Area Chamber of Commerce, what would be your sales pitch to them to come and join?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is visit. I always recommend that you should come and attend either a Wednesday morning, a Thursday evening, any one of our luncheons, something like that. Because, and the reason I say that is I want business people to feel like they are in an environment or in a community where they can best build their business. And if you've been around chambers of commerce at all, you know that if you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber. All chambers have, just like I'll say plumbers or getting your hair done or anything else, everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so rather than someone just, joining and maybe not knowing a lot of other people. Now, if they've gotten references, sure. If you've got a best friend that's a member and or someone that you're networking with, but and we love those people that just sign up and become members. But again, like I said, we definitely want people to feel like they can grow their business with our chamber.
Absolutely. That's great. So guys, go check out an event, mingle, network, and then join the chamber. All right.
It's really affordable.
Yeah, it really is.
It's very affordable. So
it's money well spent for sure. So again, this is our annual Wylie Rodeo podcast. So we're going to maybe spend the most of, not maybe, we are going to spend the most of the time talking about the Wylie Rodeo. This is the chamber's signature event, right, of the year. And we've, like I said in the beginning, this is our 4th episode. We've heard from others in the past on the beginnings of the rodeo and how the rodeo operates. But as the chamber director, what does the rodeo mean to you?
I feel like it's a signature not only of the chamber, but of our community. It's a signature event.
I'd have to agree. I would have to agree.
I think, there aren't a lot of communities anymore that host a rodeo. It's always fun when I go to a Chamber of Commerce conference and people are talking about their signature events, and I get to stand up and say, hey, we have a championship rodeo. And, and all that brings with it. So, but I think the rodeo is important to the chamber because it certainly brings in all of our community partners. I mean, we could not do this event without the city, the school district. I mean, it's school district property. It's, we run by their rules. You don't bring in tobacco items and you don't bring in knives or guns or, there's all kinds of things. You can find all those things on our website, but those are all, we're running with their policies,
Right.
But we certainly couldn't do this event without them. The college helps, and then we have Sandon. That's where we have parking. So it really brings in, and the FFA. I mean, the parents and the students. We get so many volunteers from the school district. That is a huge manpower effort from the students and all the work they do.
I remember my son volunteered to help with with the police to direct traffic at the
Yes.
at the rodeo. Yeah.
Yep. And then, yeah, we also have the junior police academy students. So we just, it needs everybody to pull off the good show.
Right.
And so I think and then our ambassadors, I cannot forget our ambassadors and our board members. So, they volunteer. So, to have that. And then, from a staff perspective, yeah, it's a lot of work. We're already working on it now. We actually started right after last year's rodeo, planning for this one.
I mean, it's a big event, and it takes a lot of planning that people may not realize, and a lot of things have to come together from a lot of different groups to pull it off each year. And I mean, we're over 30 years of doing. I mean,
32.
30. This is the 32nd year. Yeah, I knew we were over 30. I couldn't remember exact number,
Yeah.
but 32 years of doing the rodeo. There's a lot of history there. You mentioned community partners earlier. So obviously, you've got sponsorships and things from your community partners. Are there sponsorships still available? Or
There are. We have had tremendous outpouring. A lot of our, if you want to say top tier, I'll say most expensive, however you want to look at it. A lot of those sold out very early. And but we still have very reasonable different levels available, and they all have different benefits with them. And that's the other thing that I like. One thing that we do is that we try to think about what might a sponsor be looking for in benefits. There's some sponsorships that come with VIP seats. So maybe you're a business that wants to entertain some clients or customers or somebody. So they have those. Then we have others. I like to call it kind of a team outing, where the benefits are that it's multiple tickets, but it's all on one night. And then we have others that it's general admission. So it really depends on what you're looking for from your sponsor benefits.
right. So so obviously people can go to the chamber website
Yes.
and click on the rodeo and then find the available sponsorships, right?
Yes. Yep. And of course, if they have any questions, please, give us a call. The staff, we're always excited to talk to people about sponsorships. And again, really asking them questions about what do they want to accomplish? What's their goal?
Sure.
So
You were mentioning VIP tickets and general admission tickets. So let's just talk about tickets right quick and the different levels and what those tickets get you.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I know sometimes it can be a little confusing. You get on the website and we try to provide so many details and so much information that maybe sometimes it feels a little overwhelming because we give you a lot of choices.
Right.
General admission is, I hopefully people understand what general admission means. It's where you've bought a ticket and you come on the grounds. We do not guarantee a seat. Because sometimes, especially on Saturday night, the bleachers fill up fast. So sometimes it's just standing room. But that's what general admission. But again, we've got lots of vendors. We've got food vendors. We've got games for the kids to play. You're still going to see the rodeo, but
There's a lot of other things to do as well.
yes, yeah. So that ticket gets you in the gate, and you're a part of the rodeo. But again, depending on what time you come, seating can be a challenge for that particular. Now, what you can do is you can do a reserved seat add-on. And so with that, and you can purchase everything on the website. And I really recommend it because when you come off the shuttle bus that we provide from parking, then there's an expedited line if you already have your tickets. So there'll be one line if you're purchasing your tickets, but then there's another line, and you can just print out the ticket that you get when you register. So it makes it really fast. But the upgrade to general admission is to buy a reserved seat, and that's where then we have actually a seating map, and you'll pick out your seats when you get there. So you'll have your receipt that you'll print out, and that will get you in the first gate. And then you take that and you go to the reserved seating booth. It's kind of like will call for tickets, and then you'll pick out your seats.
Okay.
So that's one thing that's really convenient too. We have actually streamlined that, and actually there'll be an envelope there that's already prepared for you with your tickets. Now, if you get tickets and you really want to sit somewhere else, we'll do our best to accommodate that. But we don't have a way for you to pick out your seats when you're buying them.
Right.
So we're just trying to expedite and streamline things so that it's easier for everybody.
We're not Ticketmaster here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but you do, with the reserved seats, there is a seat number that you're sitting on. So, general admission is on the east side of the arena, and then these reserved seats are on the west side of the arena. So if you think about the sun going down in the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, in that range, the west side is a bit more comfortable. So, but they're all good seats. I mean, you're not going to miss anything if you sit on the east side or the west side.
Right. So are VIP tickets available as well, or are those only with sponsorships?
VIP seats are only with sponsorships. And I know sometimes because the VIP area are actual, like, they're folding chairs, so they're actual chairs. And I know people sometimes will see those seats and see them empty. But what happens is the sponsor buys the seats. And so sometimes whoever's sitting in those seats goes and walks. They don't just sit in those seats for the whole night.
Right.
And I know sometimes that's hard for the general public to see those seats there.
Especially the standing room only people.
Yes. Yeah. So I realize that's like, well, why is that happening? Well, it's because we have some very generous sponsors that have paid a premium to have those seats. So that's how that works. But again, no matter where your seat is, you're going to have plenty of visibility, and you're going to still see a great show.
Every seat in there is a good view.
Yeah.
So you mentioned parking earlier.
Yes.
Sandon and shuttle buses, and let's explain there, because years ago we used to park right there at the rodeo, around Founders Park and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But now let's kind of go through the whole parking routine.
Yep. So there is a football game on Friday night. So that at Wylie High. And so what we've done is the last few years is we have parking available at Sandon International. It's there on Sandon Boulevard, and it's basically at Sandon and 544. You'll enter off of Sandon, not off of 544. It's easier for their security guard that you don't come in off of 544.
Right. And you're actually going in through their gate into their parking lot.
Yes. Yep. And then we have school buses, our shuttles. And so those will pick you up at Sandon, take you directly to the gate. I mean, you are dropped off right in front of the gate. So once you are on the shuttle bus, you are not having to walk a long ways then to get to the ticket gate. It is door-to-door service. So, and the buses run all night. And then, of course, at the end of the evening, they will take you back to Sandon. And there's no charge for parking. So we have volunteers. We have SACSI CERT, which is Citizens Emergency Response Team. They help us with parking and keeping everybody kind of orderly when they're parking. But that's on both Friday night and Saturday night.
You know what? We failed to mention the dates of the Wylie Rodeo.
That's true.
This year.
That's true.
So let's talk about that right now.
Yeah.
What's the official date for this year's Wylie Rodeo?
Yeah, and it's a week later than we have done it the last couple years. So, the last few years
And
actually.
we keep getting later in the year. It keeps maybe cooling off more and more.
That's what I'm hoping. So this year it is Friday, September 12th and Saturday, September 13th.
Right.
So it is
September
the 12th
12th,
and 13th.
12th and 13th.
Yep.
All right, and we need to keep plugging the chamber's website, wyliechamber.org.
Yep.
All the information, tickets, sponsorships, all the information about the rodeos on the website. So let's, like, for somebody that's never been to the Wylie Rodeo, what can people expect when they get there? And then we've talked about vendors, we talked about booths, we've talked about all sorts of things. What specific about each of those things can people expect to see when they get to the rodeo?
Okay. So again, that shuttle, I'm going to say door-to-door service. So once you come through the gate, you will immediately, you're coming into what we call our food court. And so you've got lots of great selections of fair style food. Each food vendor is independent, so you don't have to buy tickets. I know some events that you go to, you have to go to a booth and buy food vouchers or food tickets, and then that's what you give. Well, you deal directly with that vendor, so you're paying their, whatever their prices are for whatever products they have.
Right.
We try very hard to not have several different vendors selling the same food items. So we try to provide what we call exclusivity. And that, to me, provides more variety to
Absolutely.
the attendees.
Yeah.
So you don't have, 5 or 6 vendors selling hamburgers or hot dogs or whatever. We have, we have barbecue. We have, there's just all different, anything you can probably think of is there. And another fan favorite that this person's been coming, I think this is our 3rd year, is Sippy. For some reason, that's a very big draw. And so they have these kind of outlandish lemonades and things, and they have fruits and all kinds of things in it. So it's quite an experience.
Wow.
So, but we have a lot of great vendors, and a lot of them are our chamber members. So Pink's is always there. They actually are a state fair food vendor. So we have all different ones. So
Big time.
yeah.
All right.
So once you come through the food vendor, then you go into what we call our marketplace. And that is a mixture of service oriented. So I'm going to say like your insurance people, your maybe some investing firms, but it's people that want to give you information about their business.
Right.
And then, of course, we have the retailers. So I know we have another, again, fan favorite, Turquoise Hat is coming back. So they've always got some really fun hats for you to design and customize. And they're a chamber member. And but it's all different types of businesses. And so that's always, like I said, that's called our marketplace. And then at the end of the marketplace, we have a big simulcast screen. So you're not going to miss any of the rodeo action while you're shopping, because you can look at the big screen, and that's we get help from Waterbrook Church for that.
Oh, wow.
So they've been with us a long time to help us provide that. Provide that service. So
That's awesome.
but yeah, that's just some of the things. The FFA usually is out there sometimes with a petting zoo or sometimes games. It kind of depends on what they decide they want to do, but that's another fun thing is there for the kids. We have face painters there for the kiddos too, and then of course, we have a T-shirt booth. You can get your commemorative T-shirt for the year, and has lots of sponsors on the back, and but has our Wylie Championship Rodeo logo on the front. So
That's a lot of good stuff to do. Also, we've got a rodeo going on, a championship
Yes.
rodeo. So people, if there's folks out there that's never been to a rodeo, and I'm sure there has, or people that come to the Wylie Rodeo, what are some of the rodeo events that we have in store for
Oh,
people?
yeah. Sorry. So the first thing is each night we have a kids game, we call it. We don't do mutton busting. So, but we do have, usually it's on Friday night, we have the calf scramble. So we have two calves are out in the arena, and one calf has a blue ribbon on its tail, and the other one has a pink ribbon on its tail. And kiddos get to get out there and chase after and try to get the ribbon, and then they get a prize. And so I think probably they have just as much fun just being out in the arena
Oh, yeah.
and running around in that, I don't know, foot deep dirt. So I think that's always kind of a fan favorite to watch. And then on Saturday night, we do what we call a boot scramble. And so that's where the kiddos take off their shoes, whatever they may have, boots or flip-flops or whatever they have, sneakers. And so they take them off at one end, they go to the other end of the arena, and then they run back to put them on. And it's amazing how many times we end up with one boot or one sneaker or who knows what. So it's always a little fun. But, and again, there's a prize for the kids. So, but that's before the rodeo even starts. And then we have the grand entry, and that is at basically about 7:50 p.m. We start opening ceremonies. We usually will have any one of our elected officials, the mayor. We have just different folks that come out and welcome everybody there, again, because it is such a community-oriented event. And so then the grand entry comes out, and that's where we have young ladies from, I can't remember the name. It's a kind of like a drill team. They're on horseback. And so they come out with, if you're an event sponsor, you have a flag. And so they will ride around the arena with the flag. And then we have another performer, and she comes out, and she is usually all in red, white, and blue, rhinestones and sparkles. And then she carries the American flag. And Wes, who's our rodeo producer, he has a story that he reads while she's circling the arena with the flag, and the sparkler, firework comes out. So, and so that kicks everything off. And then from there, we have barrel racing. We have bull riding is towards the end of the evening. We have, so barrel racing, wild bronc riding, and then we have the roping, where the cowboys come out and rope the
Team rope?
Team roping. Thank you. Yes, I could visualize it. I just couldn't get the word out. So, but I have learned a lot in the last few years. So I know a lot about rodeo dirt. We're not even going to go there. But anyways, so there's no intermission. It's once it starts, it runs all night. We have a great rodeo clown. Kelly is, again, from one of the past podcasts, if you go look for it.
Yeah, so last year we did have Wes and Kelly on the podcast talking about the production, how we put on a rodeo. So DJ will put that link in the description below. That's a great episode.
Yeah, that's really good. A little bit more about the rodeo. It is a UPRA sanctioned rodeo. So we do have cowboys from all over, all over the country, really, wherever they come from. And so they're earning points. If you know a little bit about rodeo, they earn points so that then they can go to the final rodeo, which is in Las Vegas in December timeframe.
I think Wylie Rodeo is one of the last rodeos before that event. So all the top talent trying to get a little extra points always come to the Wylie Rodeo, because, that's what makes it so good too. Is the Wes and Kelly put on a great rodeo. It attracts. I mean, they've got great livestock. Top tier cowboys come in to earn points for the finals. It's just a great rodeo.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to work with the people that we work with. It's every once in a while I'll call Wes, and he may be in, Montana or Colorado or these are professionals. I mean, these really are what they do for a living. So
Yeah.
a real quick little story, just because I don't know why I thought it was so cool to get a call, but last year one of the cowboys called afterwards, and he had gotten injured on Saturday night. And so when he got injured, he just went to the emergency room, and but he left his gear behind. And he said, ma'am, do you know where my gear is? Because that's my life. That's how I earn my living. And he said, I'm headed to another rodeo, and I really need to find where it is. Well, of course, Wes and his people had taken care of it, and they hooked up and got it to him. But it was like, we go and see a great show, but you got to remember how many people, this is their living. This is how they do life. So I don't know. I just thought that call was very interesting to get and hear that.
And that speaks volumes about Wes and his crew and stuff. They really look out for the cowboys. They've been doing this a long time. They know how to do it the right way, and that's why it's a great show every year.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. It's always, and of course it's different every year. So, you never know what cowboys are coming. You never know what the livestock's going to do. You never know what kind of a mood the bulls are going to be in. So
hopefully they're going to be honoring.
Yeah, that's right. So it's always a different show. But I really think it's a worthwhile event to come out to. And we do try our best to provide a good environment for families so that they can come out. Hopefully people feel like it's an affordable evening. So it's, we do our best. It is, I think we kind of touched on this just a little bit. It is the most significant fundraiser for the chamber. And so by those funds, we're able to employ a professional team, a professional staff. We have, I don't even know how many years of experience. I haven't added those up, but between all of our staff members. And then the programs that we provide, again, working with our local partners. We do a lot with the Economic Development Corporation and, as I mentioned earlier, the city and school district. So, but those funds go to work in the community. They are invested back into the community in numerous ways. So we are very we're very particular about how we spend our members' money, because that's in the community the funds that we get. So
Yeah.
I think that's important for people to understand that it's going to be twofold at least. They're going to have a good time, but then those dollars are going to go to work in other places.
Absolutely. So is there anything else that we need to tell people about the rodeo coming up that we haven't already touched? I think we covered pretty much everything.
We did. I know.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We even got the date.
Yes. September 12th and 13th.
September 12th and 13th. Get your tickets at wyliechamber.org. Yep. You may want to go ahead and get them now. They may sell out, so don't wait. Especially
if you get general admission for Saturday night, I would say get there early. So
it's a pro tip. Tip.
So
Tina,
yeah,
it's been a blast again.
That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on and talking about the rodeo and the chamber. And there it is, guys. wyliechamber.org. Go get your tickets. Show up at the rodeo. Have a great time, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Live, Love, Wylie podcast. If you're watching this on Shorts on YouTube, maybe you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, we would love to have you subscribe over on YouTube so you can watch the full episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.